What's up, people? One Nut Punch here. So, Sulfur comes out October 28th, 2024 for early access, and I don't know the time and I don't know the price. However, I've been playing about 10 hours in the demo, and I've been going back and playing it every single day. The reason why is because I like how Sulfur is. The fact that it's like a cel-shaded first-person shooter where you're a priest that had his church burned down because of some witch, and then you're chasing after, only have to deal with an army of goblins in these caves, and then every single time is a different run. I've seen also that they did a collab for hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades, where they have different guns from the actual game of Sulfur, like the Dirk and the Balthazar and the Arbiter. And I was messing around with it yesterday when they did update 114, checking out the night vision goggles and the attachments for the other weapons. For example, the HK416, I was able to put like a thermal scope on it, and I could see super far away in the dark. They also have different areas in that game to where it was like dark dunes and 45 Arizona, which was also a dark area, so you could see the night vision stuff. But I want to talk about Sulfur, and the reason why is because, like I said, almost about 10 hours in the demo. I've been loving it every single day. The other game I used to play that I bought a while ago was called Sentry, and it was kind of the same, similar in graphical fidelity. It's not really like the same thing as Sulfur, to where you're doing an open world or you're going through caves, fighting goblins and dogs and bounty hunters that are trying to shoot at you, and then you can go to the store like with Ralphie, the Grave Digger, and Stiffleg, and then be able to sell like different things from goblin parts like the brain, the tongue, goblin skin. Sometimes when you also lose the run and you come back to the church, you'll be given severance or given money inside your little mailbox, and that will be given for like ammunition or spare parts if you get enough of it and put it on your gun. The Dirk will always be the standard gun that you start with, and you will level up the more you use it. So it's got a progressive system when it comes down to using the guns itself. I don't know about the sword because that's the melee weapon you have for like breaking boxes and cutting down the baby type of goblins that jump at you. The other thing is that like some other cel-shaded games I played in the past, like Killer 7 and 13, that when you go up to like a body and mess with it, or even like Soldier of Fortune, you know how normally when a character or an animation of a character were to die, then you would see like them just sit there. You couldn't really interact with it. Sulfur, you could actually just chop them up into pieces, and you could see like bullet holes in goblins' heads, or being able to throw like a grenade and watch them explode. So they do have some kind of weird visceral type of thing going on. The other thing is they have another character called the Enchantress, which is somebody that will sell different scrolls that you could put attachments on for your weapon, making it get like water, fire damage, electricity. I don't really know a whole lot about all the scrolls. And the other thing when it comes down to this game is it has a lot of attachments. You have sniper scopes, ADCOG scopes, suppressors. You could actually change the chamber of your gun from a 9mm to a 7.62, and it could be more powerful. The other thing I found earlier, which was kind of fun to use for the Dirk, which was called the gun crank, and it turns it from a semi-automatic pistol into a fully automatic machine gun. And it can be for any other gun. As long as it has the attachments or the slot to be able to put it on there, then you could put it on the gun. And I don't know how many attachments you can put on the Dirk before it stops doing like attachments. Like you could put a suppressor, the gun crank, and even the scope there. But I showed this up because, again, the game will be early access. There's going to be problems, there's going to be bugs, there's going to be difficulties. And I've seen people like bitch about the whole, well, the game's too grindy, there's not a whole lot to do in it, there's got some issues. Listen, guys, it's early access, for fuck's sake. I don't know why every single time I have to go on the community hub and look at these people try to be like, well, I'm just trying to help. How are you helping by not giving any type of solutions to early access and the problems other than complaining and crying about how this game is this or this difficulty is this? This is the same problem with Quasimorph, Stone Shard, and all the games that have super difficulties that got review bombed by people because they don't like the idea the game is too hard for them. Same thing for Death Trash. Death Trash had the same problem, to where it had a difficulty curve and people just didn't like it, so they review bombed the shit out of it. I hope that does not happen with Sulfur. I hope it does not happen for a lot of other games that come out, because difficulty needs to be a thing. It's a single player game, okay? It doesn't matter if you can sit there and say, well, it's early access and it has all these bugs, and I want it to be, at least somewhat doable. Well, just get good, just like anybody else does. I mean, after 10 hours, I got murdered by a couple of, like, dogs, bounty hunters that would snipe me through a wall sometimes. And yeah, like I said beforehand, when it came down to earlier getting killed by that goblin in the waterfall, I can't really move, and sometimes you get stuck on invisible walls. But I do not blame the game for that, because I know that there's issues with it. And with early access games come development, changes, and even fixes later on. And in terms of the price for Sulfur, I'm going to assume that it's anywhere between $15 to $25 max. That's how I personally feel about it when it comes down to the demo itself. In the main game, I have no idea what they're going to all add, what all enemies you have to fight besides the witch and the other goblins, the bounty hunters, the dogs that come after you, and the different types of goblins that have spears jumping around, little baby ones, and even the big guys that have like this weird kind of special effect or like some additional buffs that they have because they're different colors. The other thing is, when you can tell the difference between someone getting shot normally and getting critical, is that when they flash white, it's a normal hit. If it's yellow, it's a critical and does more damage that way. I have a sniper scope on the Dirk right now, and the main reason why I wanted to show this off was because, one, I haven't found a whole bunch of guns playing the demo because it's probably harder to get, and two, the Dirk is the main gun for you to go into the game. No matter what happens, every time you lose a run, you will always spawn with the Dirk. You don't get your attachments, though. They disappear. If you go back, say, to the church, like use the amulet when it's fully charged, and then have like the sniper scope on the Dirk or have another gun on top of you, you keep it and put it in your stash so that it doesn't go away. The other time you have to fight ghosts because they go through walls. They'll sometimes go around you or like through a wall right in front of you, and it'll be like a blur. What they do is they slow you down by freezing, and if an enemy gets touched by them, they just get frozen completely, only to be broken into a bunch of pieces when you walk up and smack them with the sword. So, I mean, there are some things to do in Sulfur, and I mean, I can't wait to see what else they do with the main game coming out of early access. I want to see more stuff. I want to get more Sulfur gold, being able to buy more attachments, make my gun look kind of crazy. The other thing is I like the cooking and the food stuff. And what I mean by that is when you go to a cauldron and you have different things of food, say for example a egg and cheese, you can make an omelet out of that. If you have bread and butter, you can make buttered toast. There's different recipes that you could find. I don't know all of them because you have to go find out for yourself what you can make. They don't really have anything unless you like have the food to go in there and it says cook. Otherwise the button won't work. Like if I throw maybe 3 mushrooms and then a piece of bread in there, nothing happens. The other thing is when you go over to this altar, the amulet will get a bunch of weird like red stuff. I don't know if it's blood or something else. But what this does is allows you to go back to the church, keep all your stuff, and put it inside your chest without losing it. Here's a little tip when you're trying to move the items. Do drag and drop, because if you do control click, you will lose your item like I did that chisel right there, which was for the 9mm. I don't need it for the Dirk because the Dirk is already 9mm. Still, I lost it and that's money gone right there. The other thing is that when you're done and you get some money or you still have some money left, you can go buy some stuff from Ralphie and have your stuff repaired. Also go talk to Stiffleg, get some more ammunition, maybe even some new guns like a sniper rifle, or then be able to find a gun dealer that you get later on and that he gives you some more weapons and ammo. So, that's my Sulfur kind of early access preview for the demo. I wanted to show it off a little bit because, to be honest, I can't wait for it to come out October 28th, 2024. And like I said, I don't know the price and anything else with it. Anyway, I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later in the next one.